Hello, hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. The trusted choice for entering all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., alongside Coleco Yachts and the American Scooter Dust.
If you hear me scream at any point during this broadcast, don't worry, I'm just watching the Rangers.
And it was a good week for Wrestling With as we interviewed the Candy Girl. Somebody local to me, finally. And it was a great interview, great girl, did a lot of great things in California, competing with the late great, not late great, the great awesome Kong, competed against Winter, and we talked all things, obviously, Candy as well. And then on Wednesday we interviewed Lola the Adventurer, another incredible interview. And you definitely want to go check those out in the archives after this. This upcoming Tuesday, we have Jared Diaz, the Bodega Boy. Great interview, somebody from Scooter's neck of the woods.
Hey.
We talk match against JT Dunn, being in Germany, working for WWE at one point. Both bodegas, obviously, Arizona Iced Tea, and maybe a missed connection with Alex Kane. So you definitely want to catch that this Tuesday. And then this Wednesday, a friend from up north, Rose. She competes for Love Pro Wrestling in 365, two companies near and dear to our hearts, obviously. We talk about her last scramble match against Michael Richard Blaze and Sean Moore, obviously friends of the show. Competing for 365 and that company, and her rivalry with technology, and a lot more. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips. Hindsight being 2020. Should you have let Alex Kane join Rapture?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Alex Kane is incredibly talented, and the next time I see him, I will tell him how much we regret it. Now, so the Rapture was an interesting group because we truly were three best friends, and we're doing everything together. And Lexi was also very, very close with us, even though she on her own time decided to leave the group. The three of us guys, Jay, Rich, and I, have been incredibly close for the entirety of my time in wrestling. These are three guys that I started training with shortly after they had been wrestling and trained together. So, to be welcomed into that group was very special. To forge friendships, genuine lifelong friendships with these guys, is something that I'm ever grateful for. So it is difficult to bring on a new member, and I think that showed in our later time in the Rapture, where we brought on a manager, we brought on DeMarcus Cutler. In our time with ACW, there were a lot of other pieces that started to move with the Rapture. But ultimately, Alex Kane, incredibly talented. I'm so proud of him. He's doing nothing but great things. He probably should have been let in. That's on me. I'll take the L for that. I was the one saying no to people. That's my bad. Now that's a deep cut, by the way. Good research there, guys.
Oh my god, that's Alex Kane. I'm still saying no to him. Wow.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
Obviously, the other big moment of the match was the backbreaker you took from Sean Moore.
It's funny because before the show, he's like, you're gonna, because I've never taken it before, and he says, You're gonna fly. You're gonna go high. Don't be scared, you know. And I trust Sean again because I know he's such a good wrestler. And I was like, I'm gonna just trust him and really like throw myself on it and just eat it really good, you know. And yeah, I just tucked my head behind his leg and I was like, okay, there we go. And then I flew so high. I could not believe it. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fall back on him, right? And then he just kind of tossed me on the side like a rag doll. It was a crazy feeling. I flew so high. And when I watched it, I was like, I feel like it always feels so much more extra when you're the one doing the moves. And then you watch it and you're like, I thought I flew like at least a good meter in the air. Yeah, it was crazy.
Alright, and the week after that, I believe the 9th, we are interviewing El Guerrero Cuervo. So you don't want to miss that. Hit the subscription button and notifications to listen to those when they drop on Tuesday and Wednesday. I believe we are done putting ourselves over. No, Scooter?
I'd say so.
Alright, I feel like we have to kind of talk about this because there was a connection between this guy and WWE at one point, and he was a big part of. He was a part of wrestling everywhere else. Jerry Springer passed away.
Yeah.
And you want to say, well, what was the connection between Jerry Springer and wrestling? Well, a lot of the people that were on the Springer show were independent wrestlers. And he did do some stuff for WWE, and maybe not a big name in pro wrestling, but he did give independent pro wrestlers opportunities and chances. No, Scooter?
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
So definitely our thoughts and prayers are with his friends and family. Alright. Now we are wrestling with the news. And we're going to put a whole segment about the draft and obviously Backlash next week. So we're going to start with a big part of the news this week, and that was the introduction of a new big gold belt, the return of the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a good idea, Scooter?
I believe they're calling this the yes, we know we booked ourselves into a corner. Sorry, we screwed up. Here's a new belt championship.
When you say screwed up, which part are you referring to? Because they screwed up a fucking lot.
Yeah, they did. Oh boy. I mean, the belt looks nice.
I mean, it looks better than the WWE and the Universal Championship, at least.
But now SmackDown is the undisputed Universal. Raw is the World Heavyweight Championship. Spoilers, by the way. Roman staying on SmackDown.
Right.
I mean, okay, but it doesn't change the fact that the existence of this title alone is an admission of the WWE screwing up its own booking. Now, and on top of that, that new champion will be crowned, I believe, on the 1000th. It's either the 1000th or 1001st day
right.
of Roman's reign, which is I am well, not equal parts, but 25% impressed, 75% disgusted.
Okay.
Like, you know, people want to, people harped on Brock Lesnar because he was, barely defending it. But, Brock at least knew when to drop the title.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't think Brock held the title any longer than a year. I could be wrong about that, though.
Yeah, he's got a number of multiple reigns. But this proves my theory right. That there's only one person that can ever defeat Roman Reigns ever again. Go! And that is a man named Lou. I will not finish that name. You can get it. You can figure it out for yourself.
No, I do feel like, introducing a new major title is, a good thing. I could make the argument that we never needed a Universal Championship. We always needed a World Heavyweight Championship. Because there are actual fucking names connected to that title. Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons, etc., etc., etc. I the problem that I have with this title is bringing back this title is how long is Roman gonna hold the WWE Championship for? Because we thought they were only going to go for 1,000 days, and now with the introduction of this title, I feel like there is no timetable for when he will drop this.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this title was just introduced to pacify us, to not feel completely locked in and numb with Roman for at least another 365.
Let's be honest, we're probably getting.
Right. And, you could have definitely made the argument, yeah, Cody wins the title at WrestleMania 39. We never got there. It would have been the perfect setup, and Roman could have did something afterwards, but we're not getting that. I'm assuming we're going to get Rock and Roman at 40, and The Rock's going to win the title. Because,
I mean, yeah, and the fact that that Cody is going to Raw.
Right. But that is a good question. Does it go to Cody? Should they give it to Seth? Alright, we're doing spoilers at this point. Do they give it to Gunther?
I mean, Gunther's still a Continental Champion, so. And I will tell you this.
I mean, they could pull the Swerve and Roman wins it.
You say that. You say that. And somehow Roman is going to end up with 3 belts.
I don't think it was ever a discussion. I think when they introduced that title, it was just a matter of, okay, when is Roman winning this shit?
I mean, is Roman going to get, 1 belt, or are we going to get that golden version of the WWE Champion that we've seen around somewhere? I mean, yeah, Undisputed Universal, really fucking stupid name for a single championship.
Well, imagine it's the Universal, the Undisputed Universal World Heavyweight WWE Championship.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't call this one the Galactic Championship.
I think Thanos might have a say about that.
No, no, I think at least Null or Galactus.
Yeah, I don't think we're
Maybe
gonna get.
maybe the High Evolutionary.
I don't think we're gonna get Roman and Silver Surfer at any point in the future. So I have to put a pin
But
on that.
I will tell you this: from this point forward, Roman is. Oh, they're coming to get you, James.
Oh no, that's just Rey Mysterio's last opponent.
Oh, God! I'm bad. You're worse. Jesus. Mark my words. Roman is going to be the last superstar in WWE history to ever hold two belts, two singles championships at once.
I call bullshit on that.
They are not going to do that again. And if they do, they're gonna really alienate the fans. My one of the big questions in my mind does this mean we are closer to seeing John Cena, 17-time champion, or are we that much closer to Randy Orton, 17-time champion? Randy's at 14 now. You gotta think that they penciled Randy in for at least one reign with that belt.
Well, considering how John Cena's last run with WWE went, one set up with Austin Theory and a lackluster match against Theory at WrestleMania. I highly doubt John Cena is going to be doing anything with WWE anytime soon.
Do you remember Cena's 16th reign?
It was a month.
It was a month.
I mean, yeah, but does John Cena even have that time at this point? He would have to really commit to WWE, and I don't see him doing that at this point.
No, and we all know that they're gonna have Charlotte break the record if Charlotte's even staying at this point.
Right.
God, this is.
Let me ask if Cody does win this title, does that pacify Cody Rhodes to say, okay, I completed what my dad didn't? Because the whole story was about winning the WWE Championship. And the WWE Championship is held by Roman. The World Heavyweight, well, that's just the same title that his dad held. No?
No, I'm going on the logic that Roman's titles are no longer, the actual name of the WWE Championship is no longer exclusive to Roman's title. If we want to, this is really semantics when you think about it. The old WWF belt, which is which looks more like the NXT North American Championship, if you've ever seen it. The fact that they're calling this, once again, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and not just the World Heavyweight Championship, that means something, and if you really want to read into it, it means more from a storyline perspective. Because, okay, Dusty As just he never won the championship or never won the WWE Championship. And not only is this a WWE World Championship, but it's a brand new WWE Championship. And when you win a brand new championship, it's a symbol of how much the company believes in you. To have you carry the weight that new championship will bring.
Well, I mean, if they put the universe on Finn Balor's shoulder, then it got torn. So.
Well, I mean, technically he got injured before he won the belt in the midst of the match. So.
You say potato, I throw a potato in your face.
You say potato, I say sucker punch.
Maybe we're reading too much into this.
No, never.
We'll get into more of this when the information is more available. Another thing that people might be reading way too much into is CM Punk was backstage at Raw this week.
Yes. And he was thrown out.
He was asked to leave nicely.
Yes, asked to leave nicely.
I think that there was no agenda there. I just think that whatever at this point, CM Punk is a polarizing figure. Whatever he does, whether it's right or wrong, it's always going to be under a microscope and scrutinized. So might as well play with people's emotions at this point and stir the shit, so to speak. Because they're already in your hands, so why not play with them? What are your thoughts on it, though, Scooter?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. It's about Punk was visiting people. That's it. He even met with Triple H, and they shook hands, and Punk did it in a respectful manner. And honestly, I don't think there's any more about that than that. I don't think it goes any further than that.
What do you think Triple H said to CM Punk?
All right, now here's what I want you to do in AEW next.
I would think
Don't say insurance.
that match with me at Mania is looking pretty good at this point. No.
Oh yeah, CM Punk, the man who killed Triple H.
Yeah. That rivalry was his undoing. Triple H's. He was never right afterwards. He never won another single championship afterwards, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty, yeah.
He actually did, Scooter.
No, well.
He won the title one more time. He main evented WrestleMania literally 2 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Sasha Banks. What is her name? Michelle Money. Or
Mercedes Moné.
something like that, sure. She lost the IWGP Women's Championship to Mayu Iwatani last week, I believe, at a Stardom event. Which kind of raised speculations if she's going to stay with New Japan or not. We'll get to that in a moment, but Mayu Iwatani, probably one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the world that doesn't get maybe talked about as much as she really should. And I could make the argument she should have been the first IWGP Women's Champion. No, Studo?
Yeah, she should have been.
So, congratulations to her. Um, speculations on Mercedes leaving New Japan, not true. She will be in Long Beach on the 21st for Resurgence. They're going to give her the first ever New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Oh, I mean, she's in a tournament to be crowned the first New Japan Strong Women's Champion. But I mean, she's getting a belt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, how many? How many are gonna? How many really are gonna be in the strong women's division?
As of now, four at least.
Oh boy, that's 6 matches in total.
Well, there's 2 tournament matches. The other match is Willow Nightingale versus a Japanese girl like name that does not I cannot think of at this moment. And Mercedes Monet versus TBA. So
If there's 2 matches, it's not a tournament.
well, what do you call that? A scramble?
I call it 2 matches.
Well, I mean, she has to fight 2 matches. One against TBA and the other against Willow Nightingale. That's more than Tanahashi or Will Ospreay is going to be doing that night. I'm not saying that she's better than Tanahashi. I'm definitely saying she's better than Will Ospreay.
Alright, fair point.
Naomi made her Impact debut, or will be making her debut in the next week or 2.
Her appearance has I believe has already been taped.
Yeah.
And funny enough, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné was at these tapings.
Really?
Yep. Backstage as a guest of Naomi, or Trinity.
Well, I can imagine, I mean, she did screw her over royally. So, yeah. I would imagine she would want to make up for that. Let me ask you this, Scooter. If Trinity was married to Jay and not Jimmy, would we be having this conversation?
Trinity was married to Jay, not Jimmy. Yeah, we'd be still having the same conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even though he's the right-hand man?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I'd still say.
Alright. Well, as much as we're ripping Trinity, I do wish her the best. I hope that she could maybe get back on her feet and maybe we spark a passion that hasn't been there for pro wrestling in quite some time. Obviously, Impact Wrestling is not short on incredible women. Arguably, they have one of the best women's division out of any promotion nowadays. So, I definitely like to see what she does. Alright, now this is only rumor and innuendo at this point. But Minneapolis might be hosting WrestleMania. 30
Yes, 41. 41.
Yeah, 41. I mean, when you think pro wrestling, you don't necessarily think Minneapolis. No, Spinner?
Actually, yeah, you do.
Oh,
The AWA.
that, okay, yeah. One guy now.
Yeah, I mean, Brock, Shelton, Kurt Hennig, Scott Hall, Brett Rengans, all the AWA. Hulk Hogan. Yeah, those motherfuckers have to come from somewhere. Might as well be Minnesota. I mean, hey. They already have a bunch of Vikings that are losers.
Oh, don't say that about the Raiders. They have Valhalla with them.
Go sports ball.
Yes. But is Minneapolis a destination state?
I mean, it did house the Mall of America.
But that's more WCW.
No, WCW just happened to put shows there. That's all.
Sure.
They did the first and second Nitro.
The second one was there too?
Second one was there too.
Oh.
I remember because the second episode of Nitro had Sabu on it.
Ooh.
Against Jerry Lynn. Yeah, I mean, Minnesota's got a huge stadium. And the fact that they're the Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis, I think Minneapolis is long overdue.
Considering Arizona has had a WrestleMania, you might not be wrong about that.
I mean, considering Hartford has had a WrestleMania.
I mean, the only reason I could say, okay, yeah, was because they're literally based in Hartford. Well, Stanford, but, it's the same state. Not to mention they were in financial ruins at that point.
I mean, there are a couple of cities that are well overdue for either the first WrestleMania or another WrestleMania.
And I mean, we're seeing that for 40. I mean, the last time they won Philly was in
the 25-year anniversary of the last WrestleMania at Philly.
Right, it was 15.
15, yep.
Yeah.
I would like to see them go back to Indianapolis. Nothing aside from WrestleMania 3, nothing beats the sheer awesomeness of that view of the Hoosier Dome. One of the most iconic stadiums that isn't in New York, Chicago, or Boston, or LA.
Hoosier Dome was 8, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What other? I think Seattle should get another one, but let's look at the pattern here. 39 LA, 40 Philadelphia, 41 Minneapolis, which means 42 is probably going to be West Coast.
It should go that way, but it has been a little bit lopsided only on the East Coast.
Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I think 42. I think they'll do 42 in London.
I mean, if
That's
you're talking about somebody overdue for a WrestleMania, it's definitely Canada and England. Um, but wasn't Vegas supposed to be in that discussion as well? I think
I think Vegas dropped out of the discussion after the Money in the Bank sales. Plus, you also have to take into account hockey season.
I mean,
Considering how the Vegas Knights are playing, that WrestleMania would be at T-Mobile Stadium.
no, WrestleMania would be at Allegiant.
Allegiant, that's what I mean. And that's where the Vegas Golden Knights play. It's the same thing. Same thing with Seattle. It's interesting because the Minnesota Wild were just eliminated from the NHL playoffs, and now Minnesota's in talk to host a WrestleMania.
So you're saying hockey is the main thing with where WrestleMania will be held next.
Yes, that's the second biggest factor after number one. Is it a brand new stadium, or I should say, has the Super Bowl been there?
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. All right, we'll put a pin in that for now. AEW Dark Elevation is leaving. There will be no more Dark Elevation. Um, Other than being a cap in a federal and independent wrestlers caps to charge obscene amount of money for interviews, what does this mean for AEW?
It means two things: Jack and Squat.
I suppose Paul White is out of the job, considering he was primarily the commentator for that show.
I mean, considering how many rumors we've heard about him, training to get back in the ring.
Are they dropping Elevation? I can make the argumentation in Elevation to begin with. Dark was enough. Is this because there's going to be a Saturday show called Collision in the near future? And it's too expensive.
I mean, I mean, it makes a bit more sense that you get rid of one of your internet shows for if you're going to be producing more television. I would not be surprised if actual Dark gets longer.
It becomes advanced darkness, or so fucking dark I can't fucking see.
Both.
AEW, turn the lights on
and carry me home.
Alright. That brings us to our last bit of news. Do you remember the girl from TNA, Rhaka Khan?
Yes, Rhaka Khan.
Yeah, the one that was with Scott Steiner.
Yes. Oh, Lord. Oh, God.
So, apparently she's resurfaced and, she's suing, more than a few people for something major. Conspiracy to kidnap her children. Obviously a very serious thing. Um, and the people she's suing. And this is absolutely not a joke. This is actually happening. These are actual people she is suing. Um, the state of Texas, the El Paso Child Protective Services, the FBI, Las Cruces, New Mexico Police Department, the NYPD, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, New York ACS, Omega Pisa Phil Fraternity Inc., Shirley Police Department, Sigma Phil Espelon, um,
Sigma Phi Epsilon.
sure that,
Greek letters.
Soul Folk, Soul Folks, Country New York, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, The Miz, Maurice, Heath Miller, originally Heath Slater, Nikki Bella, Chris Benoit, Mark Jinrak, Panda Energy. Panda Energy owned TNA back in the day.
Yes.
Home
And
Depot,
Mark Jindrak's dead.
Home Depot, Florida Championship Wrestling, Steve Korn, the NWA, Billy Corgan, Deep South Wrestling, Bank of America, Michael Jordan, yes that one, several universities, Jim Cornette, goddamn, Mick Foley, New York City Area Energy Company, Con Edison, and more.
And oh, you forgot the 1982 Denver Broncos.
Them too. Uh,
I can sum this up in 3 words. Bitch be crazy.
oh, how much do you think she's suing for?
$3 billion.
Yes, she is. Oh my god, $2 billion.
You know, the only way it would surprise me more is she asked for $1 Brazilian.
Hmm. Well, Bitcoin.
You know, on a lot of the sites that I'm seeing this, I want to know who is the Mix. MIX. Because the Mix is named, then Maurice.
Oh,
I don't see no Miz. And you know what? Spelling counts in a lawsuit.
well,
Like, okay. Now, why? Why would they kidnap her children? Are her children harboring the cure for cancer? Are they actually aliens and they have to like escape from or race to Witch Mountain? Is that movie actually based on a true story, and that's why The Rock made it? Oh my God, good Lord!
this is
Oh,
48 pages. And those were only a few of the names. I mean, how are they going to get? How are you supposed to sue Chris Benoit and Mark Jimrock? Get a fucking Ouija board out?
you see the estate.
Hmm.
But 9 times out of 10, those will get thrown out. In a case like this,
Oh, you're
and
trying
here
to
she-
actually rationalize this one?
hold on. I'm not rationalizing it. I'm saying I'm talking about how an actual court of law would approach it if they actually considered it. No court will actually let this go anywhere, and they'll throw it out immediately.
Oh no, actually, this is actually happening. They said if she pays the charges, which she is, they're going to continue it.
Oh yeah, but no, once it gets to a bench trial, it will be thrown out. Since there's no way of getting everybody into that courtroom, and yeah, the scene in The Dark Knight, not possible. What will happen is they will take. I mean, if they try them under the RICO statute, the group conspiracy statute, what they will do is they will find the most wealthiest person in that suit.
Michael Jordan or The Rock, I would suppose.
The settlement, if any, will be against him on behalf of all the people being sued, and then after that, it's up to that person to collect the money from the rest of the people being sued.
I can imagine Bank of America isn't like, bitch, get in line. Home Depot, this is Tuesday for them, I suppose. Do I even want to mention New York in any capacity when it's about suing?
It's really hard to sue a city, especially New York, unless unless it's for, I'm sorry to say this, police brutality. 9 times out of 10, though, New York settles.
So she might be getting money out of this. Well,
I think the reason so many people are being sued
is whoever pays
so
them to go away.
Is that she set such a high number that something like, I don't know, let's say $100,000 will look tiny by comparison.
Cute. I mean, so The Rock and Michael Jordan went to Home Depot to buy tape to affect for children, and they used a Bank of America card?
Okay, by the way, Suffolk County PD, that's Long Island. I think you forgot to mention McFoley.
Hey, pretty sure I said McFoley.
Oh god, Deep South Wrestling too. Wow.
Yeah, that'd be fun. A lot of the things would be fun. Not just
rumor has it that we have just been added to this list.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, well, you know what that means.
You need TurboTax?
No. We just made the list!
That will conclude our news portion of the
show. That. By the way, that's the tagline for this episode. Or, please don't sue us, Rhaka Khan.
Now a quick word from our sponsors, if they still want to sponsor us, because, we're getting sued. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with
Goal!
the WWE Draft. 2023. I don't really feel like we even have to talk about this because, they say it's gonna stick this time and it never fucking sticks. But here we go with the list. People, drafted to Raw. Cody Rhodes, Becky Lynch, Imperium, which is, Gunther, Ludwig, Kaiser Permanente Roll, and Giovanni Rudy Vinci. Del Vinci. Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Shinsuke Nakamura, Indy Hartwell, Apollo Crews, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, Dexter Lumis, J.D. McDonough, Natalia, the Viking Raiders, Zoe Starks, and Maximum Male Models, Mace, Mansoor, and Maxi Dupree. Hold on, getting who was drafted on Saturday. Oh no, that was everybody drafted so far. So what do you think about who is going to be on Raw, Scooter?
I mean, it's an interesting group. I mean, the fact that Roman and Solo and Paul Heyman were grouped together,
And not the Usos?
but the fact that the OC were grouped together.
Well, I could chalk that up to storyline purposes.
I mean, are we gonna end up seeing like a 4-way bloodline match?
Don't surprise me at this point.
I mean, honestly, I think the more interesting thing about this is not who was drafted, but who falls into this third category now.
Who goes to NXT?
No, free agents.
Yes.
There will be a group of superstars that can go from brand to brand. It's Omos is one of them. Von Wagner is another. Von Ziggler. Von Wagner's eyebrow ridge is staying on NXT. I think Mustafa Ali. And I believe the Young Bucks hairline will be drafted to Collision.
Oh, fantastic. Well, first and foremost, Drew McIntyre, he wouldn't have been drafted if he wasn't staying with the company, no?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. Indy Hartwell, fantastic to see that she got on Raw and she's reunited with her bae. Um,
Index.
yes. I'm excited to see if they do something with Shinsuke Nakamura, if I'm being completely honest. I hope that, we might get a Nakamura push, maybe a Nakamura Cody battle for the championship at some point.
Possibly. I mean, next week we got Cross and Nakamura.
Yeah, because Cross puts asses in seats, right? Apollo Crews got drafted back to Raw without his Nigerian accent, so that stays on NXT.
No, now he's got his, Denzel accent.
The only people that I really don't give a shit that got drafted to Raw, like they should have stayed on SmackDown, was the Viking Raiders. I think Imperium will be doing something interesting. I might even consider saying that I go as far as to say Gunther might be getting a major push.
I would say that as well.
On SmackDown, we got the Bloodline: Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman. I don't know why Paul Heyman is grouped with these guys. I mean, I would imagine he would just go where Roman goes, but okay. Bianca Belair, and because she's on SmackDown, her bae Montez Ford has to come with her. And obviously the Dord Real Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits. Edge, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson with Michigan, Mia Yim, Damage Control, Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai, Alba Fyre, and Isla Dawn. Don't know who those guys are. Hit Row will be continued to live in obscurity on SmackDown. And Lacey Evans will continue being on SmackDown as well. Hypothetically speaking, could you put B-Fab to imitate Bianca Belair and nobody would be the wiser?
Nope.
Yeah. Out of this group, Edge obviously great on SmackDown. He's always has been. Bobby Lashley, I hope to say that he does something interesting, and I could say the exact same thing about AJ Styles, considering he hasn't done much in the last 2 to 3 years. But what's your use, Riddle?
God, I but I mean, is Bobby Lashley now the guy who's always the consistent top of the card guy now, and it's just his career's not gonna get worse, but it's not gonna get better.
Wrestling purgatory, as I like to call it.
Yep.
Let's see what you could make that comparison. But like I said, a lot of these guys are in wrestling purgatory because nobody expects any of these people or anybody on the show to hold the WWE Universal Championship unless your name is Roman Reigns. No?
Yep. Basically.
It's funny because SmackDown used to be the land of opportunity, and now it's the valley of, I don't know, just obscurity.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot faster than I thought it was going to. All right. I suppose that goes to we should go to our next segment. No.
Yeah.
All right. We are wrestling with WWE Backlash. No longer WrestleMania, just Backlash. It takes place May 6th, next week. It takes place in San Juan, Puerto Rico,
Oh,
at the
dude, come on.
Co-
Seriously, say it right. Don't, please. I tolerate a lot.
takes place at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico Jose Miguel Aguilar Arena. Yeah,
I quit.
you're under contract, buddy. And honestly, the card doesn't look that bad. Just um, as a whole, what are your thoughts on this card, Scooter? Do you know all the matches announced?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, it's in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I apologize to any of our Spanish listeners.
Absolutely what I said, Scooter.
Okay, Juan.
Um, depending on how you what the main event of this is, we'll just go through the matches as is. We got a singles match for the WWE World Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. And in her side is Dakota Kai and Bayley. Who went through?
It's Bianca, clearly.
Clearly. Rhea Ripley versus Selena Vega for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Who wins, Scooter?
It's cute that they think Vega has a chance. I like the fact that Vega is trying to defend her heritage, and that heritage is it's a very important thing for somebody like Selena Vega. I mean, she's tiny, she's spunky. That being said, she stands absolutely no chance whatsoever.
Whether or not she stands a chance, it's still going to be a cool little moment for her, considering it's her first time actually wrestling in the country of her heritage. So, either way, it's going to be interesting to see. I hope she gets some type of good moment out of it. But obviously, mommy's putting her to bed. Alright, Seth freaking Rollins versus Omos with MVP in a singles match. It's a match we never knew we never wanted. Um, how many stars do you think this match is gonna be, Scooter? Because the only thing that could make this match bigger is if it was in the Tokyo Dome.
2 stars.
You said 32 stars? That's a lot.
You know what I said.
I mean, who thought this was a good idea? Who thought this was a good idea?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I suppose. Is Seth Rollins' almost near perfect record of 5-star wrestling classic matches on pay-per-view in major Jeopardy on this show.
Seth's good, but he's not a miracle worker.
He's only a visionary. Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed for the United States Championship. Now, I would probably say Austin Theory wins this, but depending on whether or not he stays on Raw, will dictate if Bobby Lashley actually wins this match or Bronson Reed. Your thoughts, Scooter?
Imperium is going to Raw Intercontinental Championship, so it's clear that Bobby Lashley or Bronson Reed are walking away with this belt.
Unless they draft Theory to SmackDown.
Unless they draft Theory to SmackDown. But considering that the Intercontinental Champion was drafted first, that usually means there is a title change looming.
Do you think Theory would do well on SmackDown, or do you think that he's better off on Raw?
I don't know if anybody would care, quite honestly.
I mean, he's not that bad, and I think he's been performing well as of late. At least since getting out of the John Cena rivalry. Alright, we got Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight. Who wins the match, Phil?
Bad Bunny.
It's definitely not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a tag team match between Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Priest. Good on Bunny for going singles in this match.
The rumor is they're working on a gimmick to announce for a rematch between Rey and Dom.
It's only a tag team match if they were to do it.
No, they're thinking about a gimmick, a singles gimmick match. Which from everything I've heard, it might be we might see another Crybaby match.
Oh God, no. What about what kind of match was it between Big Boss Man and the Mountie?
The jailhouse match. The winner spends a night in jail.
Yes.
In a New York City jail.
That was Cobb County, Georgia.
No, it was New York City. That happened in New York.
I mean, that would be pretty cool. Obviously, Dom and Rey Mysterio will be a part of this match in some degree, I'm assuming.
Loser gets arrested for Perro Aguayo's death.
And we got Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso.
It's not a Backlash without a 6-man tag.
That is correct. This is definitely the most interesting match on the card because of what happened on SmackDown this last week. Solo was coming down to the ring during the match between the Usos and Sami and Owens, but you didn't exactly know what he was going to do. Could this be Roman cutting the Usos out of the bloodline?
Absolutely. Roman will end up pulling Sikoa from the match altogether.
So a 2-on-3.
Basically, yes.
But doesn't that kind of go against the formula of the bad guys need the advantage?
Unless you're turning the Usos into the good guys. Or you're turning one of them. Because I would not be surprised if the Usos were split.
Jimmy go with Solo and Jay go with Sammy and Owens.
No, Jay on his own.
Right, but I mean, he would essentially be, that would be his buddies at this point.
Well, no, because Jay would have this. He would be a loner. He wouldn't trust anybody anymore.
Well, I would say that they would probably go the route of the reverse Sami Zayn, where he's aligned with Sami and Owens, but Owens doesn't trust him, and then it's kind of then obviously Jay takes him to a Waffle House, and then they become buddies. It's just a matter of how they do it. Cause do you have Solo turn on them here, or does Jay see it coming and then he goes after Solo, or do you even do it here?
Maybe the Usos end up abandoning Solo.
Considering that they know that Roman isn't exactly their biggest fan at this point.
Yeah, basically.
And then, who wins the match?
Sammy, KO, and Riddle.
Could they postpone Roman bloodline split if the Usos and Solo actually win this match, or will this be the split?
This is definitely the final nail in the split.
All right. Well, then I'll go with Sammy, KO, and Riddle as well. And then we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Who wins, Riddle?
I don't know. I'm not sure of anything anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised if either at the show or this Monday or Friday or whatever day of the week it is, if they announce that this match is actually a first round tournament match for the World Heavyweight Championship. If it is, then I would probably say Cody wins. If not, I kind of feel like they've been doing him dirty.
I don't think it's going to be a first round match. Now we know why the King of the Ring was canceled. There's going to be a tournament at the show at Night of Champions. There is actually going to be a tournament.
So the whole tournament is going to be determined in one night.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Well, it's happened before.
It's 3 hours of my life I'm probably not going to get back.
that being said, I mean, the in post WrestleMania matches, Brock's 1-1. So
Triple H,
and he lost to Cena.
but he didn't wrestle the night prior at WrestleMania.
It's still a post WrestleMania match.
That's true.
And considering there's no title on the line whatsoever, there's no reason. There's no reason for Brock to win. There really isn't. I mean, the only reason, and we haven't even heard this yet, is that Brock was expecting Cody to beat Roman. And is pissed he didn't because Brock can't get a shot at the title now.
But if Brock beats Cody and then Cody wins the title...
Which is why I'm thinking Brock wins.
Right.
So, just so I could say just so I can hopefully be proven wrong, Brock wins.
Yeah. I would be honestly surprised if Cody won at this point. And you say, why does Brock need to win? What does Cody gain beating Brock, other than a little bit of revenge for a brutal assault? If he wins the title, then you could make the argument, okay, Cody Brock at SummerSlam. Cody's never beaten Brock. It was a hellacious beatdown at Backlash, and Cody's in for the same type of thing at SummerSlam, and then he actually slays the Beast at SummerSlam. I don't believe Brock has a great reputation at SummerSlam anyway, so yeah, that's. I think it makes more sense for Brock to win. Now, I kind of read these matches out of order. What do you think's actually going to be a main event?
Brock Cody.
Not Bad Bunny and Priest?
No.
Could they actually?
No, I don't think so. However, I don't doubt that they will have the match of the night.
Quite arguably. I mean, Bad Bunny is not... And I can't believe I'm even fucking saying this about Bad Bunny. He's good in that ring. He can actually go, and he can actually wrestle for a celebrity.
Maybe with the rumors I've heard that this is going to be one of 3 matches between Bunny and Priest.
No, I don't believe that.
That or they're potentially working towards Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul.
I don't necessarily think people would pay to see that. I legitimately don't. I see that 3 matches could potentially main event, and that's Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, Cody and Brock, or the 6-man tag.
6-man tag is not main eventing it. Nope.
But I mean, if we're seeing the story unfold and the eventual split of the bloodline, I mean, I can make the
Oh,
argument Roman and Owen's son have main evented Royal Rumble, except for what happened after the match.
well, if it ends up being the main event, then something is going to happen.
Right. Right. And do you want? I want to say, do you want if Brock's going to beat Cody to leave on a sour note of Brock Lesnar won the main event, but considering WrestleMania, WWE is capable of anything at this point, so I wouldn't put it past them to leave the fans with a sour taste in their mouth at the end of the night. But we shall see. We'll obviously do a review of this show in 2 weeks, and we might do an updated preview next week because it will be hours before the actual show. So yeah. Alright, that'll conclude this segment and the show as a whole. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Care One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Jared Diaz. This Wednesday as we interview Rose. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter and Instagram, for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. You can follow me personally at JamesJ993. And where can they find Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at ScooterDust. I can now say, next time we come to you with the remix will be Money in the Bank. Keep an eye out for more about that, and revel in my Twitch antics along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan, twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.